Good morning. How are we doing this Saturday? Or good afternoon or good evening, wherever you are in the world. Hello, hello. I thought I would do this live stream a little more casually because let's face it, I have a new microphone and I wanted to play with my new microphone and test it out. So you'll have to tell me, how does it sound? Because when I show you this microphone, you're going to freak out. Hi, Katie. When you see this microphone, you're going to lose your mind. So I just wanted to test it out and see how it sounded. And it's such a beautiful day outside. I thought it would be more fun to do it from my porch instead of doing it from my office. Good morning, everybody. So today I thought we would talk about the 3 essential things for you to focus on during this boot camp and the 3 essential things that you will need in order to make YouTube a viable option for you for getting clients and getting business. And it absolutely is. But here's what I mean. I want you to have 3 essential goals for your YouTube channel. And depending on where you are in your process, where you are in your journey, how long you've been doing it, all of those things, those goals could be very, very different. So maybe you've been doing this for a while. You've been making YouTube videos. You have a channel. You've been plugging away, but maybe you haven't gotten that first magic phone call yet. When you get it, it's totally life-changing. It's like you feel like a celebrity. You feel like you just got recognized at the grocery store. It's pretty awesome. But what would your 3 essentials be if you have not yet had that happen? Maybe yours is to dial in your call to action strategy so that when you make your videos, you give them a reason to reach out to you and want to contact you and want to hire you as the agent who's going to list their house, who's going to help them buy a house. So maybe that's one of your goals. Maybe your second goal is, I want to increase my audience retention. So you go and you look at your analytics and you're like, gosh, overall, my audience retention is not that great. Maybe by the end of the video, I'm at 20% retention. And maybe after the first 30 seconds, I'm at 50% or below. Maybe that's one of your essentials. Maybe you want to increase your click-through rate. Maybe you want to hire a video editor so that you can stop doing the editing yourself. If you're brand new to this, you haven't started making any YouTube videos yet, then your 3 essentials are going to be very different. Maybe yours is, I want to get my channel created and I want to have my first video published by, and then you put in insert date. Let's say the end of May 31st. I want to publish my first video on my YouTube channel by May 31st. So I want to create the channel and have my first video published. Then maybe I want to come up with a schedule so that I can be consistent and make videos, whatever you decide you can do. If you can do once a week, that would be amazing. If you think I could do once every other week, that could be amazing as well. You do what you can do, but I want it to feel easy. I want it to feel light and fun and almost effortless. I don't want it to feel like a chore, that it's drudgery, that you're hustling and grinding. Oh my gosh, there's a big green chameleon out there and he does the thing where his throat like balloons out. I think that's when they're mating and they're like, hey girl, hey, how's it going? And his big old neck is like ballooning out bright red. It's so funny. Sorry, easily distracted. So I want you to be able to make video a viable strategy for you to get business and still have it be enjoyable and fun. Because if it's not, you're not going to continue to do it long term. There is only one reason, well, 2 reasons, but 2 main reasons why I've been able to make videos consistently since 2017. And number 1 is that I know it works because I get phone calls and I get recognized and I get people that say, I want to hire you. I have a listing presentation today at 5 o'clock. And every time I talk to my husband about it, because she's postponed it a couple of times because she's doing all of her honey-do list items, he's like, I feel like she's expecting you to take photos when she comes over this afternoon. I said, I know, right? Like I'm going over to do a listing presentation and to pitch myself to her. And he's like, it sounds to me like she wants you to show up with a lockbox and a sign and in your camera. It's pretty funny. They've pretty much chosen you when you get those phone calls. It's amazing. So that's reason number one. But reason number two is that I like doing it. It's fun. It's enjoyable. When I was doing everything myself, it was very, very simple. As my company grew and I hired people and I was able to outsource things, then I was able to add people to the team. And therefore, when I'm not doing everything myself, it seems so much easier. Can you hear my chickens outside? Somebody just laid an egg. The buck, 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 will commence and go on for quite some time. So somebody tell me what this microphone sounds like, because how does it sound? Does it sound good to you? Does it sound like I'm really far away from it? Because I want to show you what it looks like. But before I do, I want to make sure that it sounds good. So let me know what you think of this microphone, because it's going to be funny. Okay, so 3 essential goals for the boot camp. And these are your goals. It does sound good? Okay, I can't wait to show you. Look how tiny this is. This is the size of my hand. Okay, here is my hand. Look at this itty bitty podcasting microphone. It plugs, it's got a cable with a USB port, and it plugs into my USB port. That was very redundant, wasn't it? It has a little base, and then it also has, I don't know if you can see it. I'll do like the beauty vloggers do. It's got a clamp. So you can clamp it to the top edge of your computer. You could just clamp it right on the top of your laptop screen. But I have my laptop about, I don't know, how long is my arm? It's probably 4 feet away from my face. It's on my little coffee table out here. So I put this on the coffee table so it would be closer to my face. But I thought, how great would this be if I'm traveling? Because I go live in my community all the time. And sometimes I'm not home. Sometimes I'm in a hotel room. Sometimes I'm staying at my mom's house. Sometimes I'm, wherever it is that I am. And I still want to go live, but I don't want the quality to be really, really terrible just because I'm not home. So I wanted to buy that as an experiment to see how it would sound, so that when I am traveling, I'll be able to have a little, what do they call it? A bug out bag. It's like a go kit. It would be a light, a microphone, a couple of cords that I might need, and maybe a little tripod. So that brings me to the other 3 essentials, is the gear. It's so easy to get caught up in all of the gear. You want to run out and buy all of the gear. If you're like me and you love technology and you want to buy all of the gear because it's fun, you don't need all of the gear. I want you to know that you just need 1 camera source, 1 audio source, 1 lighting source. And that is literally it. So for most of us, what would be your camera source? Probably going to be your phone, or it can be the webcam. I am using the webcam on my laptop. Is it the most high resolution webcam ever? No, it is not. Is it good enough? Yes. Yes, it is. It films in 720p, which I'm not going to lie, is not my favorite. I wish it were in 1080p. But am I going to go out and buy a new laptop because I want one that films in 1080p? No, I just don't really. It doesn't bother me that much. So this little webcam is perfectly fine. Or you can buy a small webcam. This is not a webcam, but it was the first thing I could see that was close by. This is a magnet, and it sticks to your phone with the MagSafe thing, right? And then you hang it on your laptop and you use your phone as the camera source. Or you buy a little $50, $75 webcam that will hang on top of your computer screen like this, and you use that external webcam as your camera source. It doesn't have to be expensive, and it will be free if you use the phone that you already have. Then you need your audio source. So good. I'm glad that the video looks clear. I mean, I gotta say, I don't love this webcam. I'm like, really, Mac? You still have a 720 webcam? Come on, guys. But then again, this computer is a few years old. It's not brand new. My new one on my desk in my office, That's what I usually film with. That shoots in 1080p. This is my laptop from like 2021 maybe, and it still shoots in 720p, but I'm glad that it looks good. Then the audio source, right? So this little itty bitty thing, I will give you the link. In fact, let me do it right now. This is the link to my Amazon storefront. Every time I get gear that I try that I really like, I make sure I add it. I haven't added it yet, but I'm going to do that today. I add it to the Amazon storefront because then people ask me, what is that microphone and where did you get it? And I just love it because it comes in a little carrying case. So like, this is how big this carrying case is. It's padded. It's a little clamshell. So the whole thing will fold up in there. I can't get the cord in there as well. So I have a little like zip tie thingy where I put the microphone in here and then I wrap the cable around it and I put the little zip tie thing. You can use this even if you're not traveling, even if this was going to be what you used every single day, it would be perfectly fine. No one is going to say, you know, I watched your video, but I know that you were not filming in 1080p, and I know that you were using a $30 microphone. No, as long as they can see you and they can hear you, that's going to be good enough. So we need the camera source. We need the audio source. If you're going to be filming with your phone, I'm using this because it has a USB plug, right? It plugs into my computer with the USB port. You would not do that. You could use your earbuds. You could use a little lavalier mic that clips onto your lapel. I have one, again, it was like $30 or $35. It plugs into the lightning port on the bottom of the phone, and it's like a little stick that sticks out. It kind of looks like a flash drive. It just plugs in on the bottom, and then the microphone clips onto my shirt. It has amazing sound quality for 30-ish bucks, and it will work with your phone. So you don't need a ton of gear and it doesn't need to be expensive gear, but I do want to encourage you to have an external microphone. When you don't use a plugged in microphone and you're just using whatever's part of your phone or your computer, it just doesn't sound very good. It picks up a lot of background noise. It sounds like you're shouting because the microphone's way over there. Whereas right here, I got the microphone. It's probably 15 inches from my face. So I don't have to yell because it's right there in front of me. And then we need lighting. So I'm outside. I am undercover because I'm in my screened porch. And I think this lighting looks great. If I were out on the deck, the sun would be shining directly on me. I'd have to have a hat on, which then has my face in shadow. I would have to have sunglasses on. Then you can't make eye contact with me because I'm wearing sunglasses. And usually I'm squinting like crazy. So I feel like being in direct sunlight is not so great. But if it's an overcast day, or if you were in the shade of an umbrella or a tree, you could film outside too. You'd have great lighting. If you want to get a little light like this is one of my favorite things ever. Again, the magic price of $30. It seems like everything I buy is $30. I don't plan it that way. It just comes out that way. So it has a clamp, and it will either clip onto your phone or it will clip onto your computer. It has temperature differences. That's the strength. So you probably can't tell, but it's going up and down as far as the brightness level. And then this is the temperature. So this is all warm. This is warm and cool mixed together. This is only cool, and it's rechargeable. So I usually have it plugged in here and plugged into my computer, and I just leave it plugged in all the time, and that way I never need to recharge it. But if you were filming on the go, just make sure it's charged up before you leave. This will work for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours before you need to recharge it. It works like a long, long time. So one camera, one audio source, one lighting source. That's it. You will probably need something to hold your filming device of choice. I don't even know what this thing is called. It's a little platform that you put your laptop on to raise it up so that you're not like all hunched over when you're using your laptop. Nothing fancy at all. You could use a cardboard box. You could use the yellow pages if anybody still has those around, a stack of books, anything like that. It could be a tripod. If you're going to film with your phone, it's really great to have a tripod that you can hold as a selfie stick so you're walking down the street and you're filming, or it has a tripod with feet that open up so I can set it on the floor, put it in front of me at eye level and film. It doesn't have to be complicated. Don't make it complicated. If you don't want to buy any gear at all, don't. Use your phone, go outside, be no more than about 3 feet away from your phone, and you don't even have to have a microphone if you just don't want to do it. If you can get just the bare minimum amount of stuff to make your videos look good enough, that will be good enough. I have sat in this room and filmed videos that I put on my YouTube channel that brought me business, filming with no microphone at all and this webcam on my laptop. Over time, I like to get better and improve and level up my production quality, but I didn't start with all of this stuff. I didn't start with expensive podcasting microphones. Not this one, the one that's on my desk, the white one with the big boom arm. Like, I didn't start with that. I didn't get that until at least 3 years into making videos. So just think about what are your 3 essential goals and your 3 essential pieces of equipment that don't have to cost an arm and a leg that will help you be successful. Because that's the whole point of this, right? The whole point of this is not to go to Hollywood and win an Oscar. It is to win a client because they see you on video, they get to know you, they like your personality, they find you to be reliable and trustworthy and competent. They call you, they hire you, they do a transaction, you make a great living. That's it. That's the only goal. And then as you get better and better in your skill level and you start closing lots of deals, if you want to go buy a $200 microphone, you go for it, but it is not necessary right at the beginning. Cool. Okay, you think the lighting is good here? Yeah, me too. I like it because it's bright, but it's not in my face. I squint like crazy and I cannot film outside without having sunglasses on. I can't. Unless it's a completely overcast day. And even then I still kind of squint. So I like this where there's lots of light around me, but there's shade over my head. I've even had like an umbrella over my head before, just so that I could have shade over my head. And it's still bright outside, but not like glaring in my face. Cool. I just learned that my 2023 MacBook is 1080p, right? So I bought an iMac last summer. And when I found out it was 1080p, I was so excited because my previous iMac was like, I don't know, 8 years old and it was still filming in 720p. So I was very excited. Like, thank you, Apple, for finally getting with the times. I bet Windows computers probably have had 1080p webcams for quite some time. So like, I'm glad that they got with the program. Cool. I'm glad that this was helpful. Try not to overthink it if that is something that you are prone to do. So many people take this boot camp over and over and over again. Every time somebody registers for it, if I go into my CRM, I see how many times they've taken it. I'm like, why do you take it 5 times in a row and you still don't have a YouTube channel? It's because we are prone to overthinking things. I don't want you to overthink it. I want you to make it easy. It doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to be elaborate. It does not need to be the best video that you have ever made, that anyone has ever seen, the very first video that you put on your channel. Don't put so much pressure on yourself. It doesn't have to be that hard. Okay. Have a wonderful weekend. For those of you, oh, that's okay, Kelly. You can watch the replay. From yesterday, I was just talking about how to get the most out of the boot camp. Try to come live all 3 days if you possibly can. I'm going to have prizes, but you have to be present to win. A little ethical bribe there. In fact, I'm going to have some gear to give away on the 3rd day, but you got to be present to win. So try to come live if you can. There will be a replay each day if you just simply can't. I want you to be showing up as the person who has this amazing YouTube channel. So if you have a very small channel or no channel at all yet, and you show up to the trainings and you're like, oh man, like, I don't even know what any of this stuff is. I'm not good. No. We're going to put the kibosh on that mentality right away. I want you to imagine I am a person that already has 500 subscribers on my channel, and I'm going to show up with this confidence that I have a YouTube channel that already has 500 subscribers. How does that make what you do different? You act differently, you hold yourself differently, you have more confidence. It's kind of playing mind games with yourself, but it's playing mind games with yourself in a way that will benefit you, that will make you show up more. So if you want to go back and watch that, you certainly can. If not, that's pretty much what I talked about yesterday for half an hour. You got it. And then on Monday, I'm going to talk about overwhelm. So if you are someone who finds yourself getting overwhelmed and saying, I'm so confused, I don't understand, all of that stuff, I'm going to give you some tips to beat overwhelm once and for all so that that is no longer part of your vocabulary. I don't want you to ever say, I am so overwhelmed, ever again in your life. Because what I have found when I say that, like I took a program once years and years ago. It was called Business by Design. And there was so much information in it. And when I logged in, I immediately felt overwhelmed. There was so much information to learn. And when I say to myself, oh, this is so overwhelming, there's so much stuff to learn, I don't even know where to start. What do? You end up doing none of it, right? You file that away and you think, I'll go look at that course again sometime soon, and then hardly ever come back to it. Saying I am overwhelmed does not serve you in any way, shape, or form. So instead, I want you to just say, I don't need to know everything. I just need to know what is the one thing today that I can do that will take me forward and put me one step closer to my goals. I don't need to know it all. I just need to know this much. And then when I learn that much, then I can learn that much more. And then when I know this much, I can learn that much more. And this will keep you moving forward and making progress rather than going like, oh, this is so hard video, and then just not doing any of it. So if overwhelm is your thing, come on Monday. And then I will see you bright and early. Well, not bright and early, at noon on Tuesday, noon Eastern for the boot camp. All right. Have a wonderful weekend. If you're a mom, happy Mother's Day tomorrow. If you're a fur baby mom, that counts too. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you on Monday. Bye, everybody.